let's go. I'm switching from French
To
English, and we are live. Not live. We are recording for the second time after we decided to started our famous podcast.
Now viral.
The Peace podcast, the thing that no one wants to talk about. Last time we met here, we talked about peace. It was the 12th of June. And the day after, the war with Iran started, the 12-day war.
It was like a cycle because everything that you started was connected to Iran and not going to war with Iran, not throwing missiles or getting missiles from Iran.
Yesterday, I was in my living room preparing for today, so I was writing some stuff, and I was sitting with a T-shirt that with the logo, Iranian, we love you. I have few T-shirts left, and my son went out of his room and he looked at me and he says, "You can't wear that anymore." And I was like, "Why not?" And he says, "You know, Iran, I mean,
it's a bit different.
There was a war.
Yeah.
You can't go outside with that T-shirt." And I said, "No, it's a T-shirt about peace, about people. It's not about it's not about politics. It's not about government. It's about people, meeting people." And he was like, "Shut the fuck up."
But I have to say that I don't know about. I mean, he possibly knows better. But even during this war and after this war, people were very clear, at least in Israel, that they didn't have anything against the people of Iran, and it's still important that it didn't get us to dehumanize the Iranian people. We still, I mean, there is something about the government, but also I was in touch with a few people that I met through the page Israel Loves Iran and the PeaceFactory during the war.
What were they saying?
So different things, of course, because again, it's important to remind people that not everyone in the population thinks the same things. Not all Israelis, not all Iranians. All of them, though, were, of course, not supportive of their government, but, of course, also very scared for their family, because most of them left Iran. They're studying abroad, working abroad, but their families are still in Iran. And so they were very worried about that, about their families. Some of them prayed that we will erase the government and from the map, open completely those prisons where all the, I mean, I want to say...
dissidents.
Yes, everyone that basically is dancing or singing or smiles the wrong way in the streets is arrested and sent to for any kind of reason. But yeah, that's what I heard. But yeah, only 3 people, so it's not maybe reflecting so much, but it's important.
How did you felt during these 12 days? How it was for you? You were in Israel?
I felt tired. That was my main feeling. I was in Israel. I had some indications that something was about to happen with Iran. I didn't know it would be on that scale. Yeah. Then we got the message to say we all ran to the shelters in the middle of the night because we hid them. So
the first one was
night,
crazy. The first night was...
the confusion, okay.
Really confusing.
And then I went home and cooked a lot because I was like, I don't know what will happen.
Reflex of cooking.
Yes, exactly.
The Jew reflex.
The Jew reflex.
Let's make some food.
Exactly. And then every time there was an alarm, I would go with my daughter to the shelters at every hour of the night or of the day. Always I had food. I had the bag with a lot of food, and she would ask, "Can I have something small to eat?" And then I realized this is how you pass a food trauma from one generation to the next. Basically, still running. But yeah,
it's crazy because for many years I told my wife when the thing with Iran is gonna happen, we're gonna know before and we're gonna left. And I had that I had everything planned. Like, we're going to understand that it's going to happen. We're going to buy some tickets and we're going to leave. We're not going to be here when it's happening. That was the plan. For years, we're talking about it. And during the last 2 years, we left 2 times. We left when Hezbollah starts to the whole thing with Lebanon. So I was like, okay, it's gonna. So we left because we were very, very scared about the retaliation. Yeah. So we left. We were 2 weeks in France, and we wait. Nothing happened, and then when we come back, then it happens. The first missile is from Iran. From Iran, you remember? And anyway, this time it was like so surreal because people don't understand. I mean,
everything was surreal.
We run to shelters like. When the missiles are coming from the Gaza Strip or even from the north, it's scary, but it's like manageable scary. Yes, there is like levels.
We got to the next level. It's like you're facing the next boss.
Yeah, exactly.
in this video game we live in.
And suddenly it was like, okay, now it's the big missiles, the continental missiles, the ballistic missiles. And we got that alert in the middle of the night saying you have an hour to get ready. So people were like, what?
It was not working perfectly also. So you're like, do I have time to pee? Maybe I don't need to sleep with my bra anymore. Maybe I have time now to...
We ran to the school shelter. It's the big shelter, like the municipal shelters. For those who don't know, we have shelters every few hundred meters, like real shelters, not small shelter like the one you got in the houses, but like real concrete underground shelters. So we ran to this one in the middle of the night. We met with the whole neighborhood. Everyone was like, what are we doing? Are we staying here? Are we sleeping here? Are we bringing some food? Are we going back home? Nobody knew.
We organized play dates with my daughter and the parents of her friends. We were like, okay, next attack, you bring the food, I bring the toys, and we don't know how long we're gonna be there. So, let's go to the same bomb shelters, and so we can pass the time like this. This is crazy to think that way, but yeah, that's
people slept there. I have few neighbors who I know, like, who told me, I'm not going out anymore. I'm just staying in the shelters and I'm waiting. It was so crazy because when the first attack happened and people saw the result, saw how the blast, the destruction of full neighborhoods. I mean, they shot hundreds of missiles and most of them got intercepted, but the one that got through erased like 10 buildings.
It's quite crazy. Certainly I have images coming back to me, like flashbacks of those images when we received them and realized, they can basically destroy an entire neighborhood. And
we had one at the end of our street, like 500 meters from where we live, the whole neighborhood on the Pinsker Street.
Yeah. Wow.
I went there the day after. It was like, most of what we see of the war is what's happening in the Gaza Strip. And you never see, most of the time you don't see on the international news what's happening in Israel.
Yeah.
People don't understand that because the fact that we have Iron Dome,
alerts, shelters. So it's like, okay, less people are dying, but it's not that no one is trying to kill us.
Yeah, exactly. People are trying like actively every other night. I mean, 2 days ago we had another alert, and so they're actively trying
Constantly.
for 2 years now, even before, but for 2 years, like every other night. And the fact that we're not dying makes us like the bad guys, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that and maybe a few other things, but that's one of the things that people see that way. And even with Iran, people didn't see the demolitions. I had friends from abroad reaching out and asking me what's going on. And so it was like, can we send the pictures, or maybe we shouldn't send the pictures, because there were this security, like, don't show pictures of the demolitions, of where it is. But basically, I think that even with all this protection that we have, and it's a big privilege in this region, I think the first week it was like 8% of the missiles reached an impact, and the second week maybe 16%. So it's still a lot. It's
crazy.
It's scary to think about it that way, and I don't know. I guess everyone was scared. I realized afterward, really, I was too exhausted to panic. I had like a few moments of anxiety, and I was like, you know what? What can I do anyway? This is between the home front command, the missiles, and God. So I'm just going to pray that everything is okay.
And also the fact that the moment it started, the whole country closed. I mean, no in and out, no flying ticket to any. No. I mean, only maybe El Al was flying out, but you had to be a millionaire to buy a ticket. All international companies immediately closed their activities. So you had no way of living.
No way of living, and for many people, which is a very strange and very typical Israeli, no way to return. Everyone was trying to come back.
Yeah, many people wanted to come back.
Yeah, and had to take boats, and the kind of boats I saw on which people travel to go back, 24 hours journey just to go back to Israel in the middle of the war with Iran. It's quite...
it's crazy. So people left by boat to Cyprus, to Greece, and people came back during the war by boat just to be here with their family during this
crazy time.
After the first few days, we left Tel Aviv. We went to a village because it was too exhausting every night, and because also the issue was that the shelter was being overcrowded. We were so many people, and it was so stressful. Yeah. And people were starting to look around for other shelters in the neighborhoods. I mean, maybe under some hostel, maybe in a Dizengoff center. I mean, under the mall.
This is an important point, I think, because usually, I mean, when we have rockets from Gaza, we can stay in the stairwells, right?
Yeah, because the blast,
is not that...
the warhead is not that big, so you're not worrying about the whole building going down on you.
Exactly, but with Iran, it was even with Hezbollah, I spent a lot of time in the north during the war we had with Hezbollah. But still, it's not the same, though we were moving from like one shelter to another, sometimes to like breathe, and it was our activity of the weekend. But in this case, no, you have to find like a real shelter. And then
no, it wasn't a game anymore. It wasn't like, okay, maybe we go to the neighbor, maybe we go to the staircase. No, it was like you have to find a real underground shelter. Many of my friends went to sleep under the mall, in the Dizengoff Center, because in the parking lot, because it was really underground, full of concrete, and they say, okay, this is the best option, because most of the houses don't have shelters. They have these small.
If they were built before, if they were built, even shelters are maybe were not built to prepare us for this kind of heavy ballistic missiles. And also it highlighted that we don't have enough shelters in Israel, despite everything, despite living in a constant state of war. I mean, I work on this issue in my work, especially because I work with the Bedouins in the south, in the Negev, and they don't have enough shelters. But doing some lobby at the Knesset and everywhere, we realized that, yes, the Homefront comment says that we lack many hundreds of shelters, of proper shelters in Israel.
We left. We were in a village, so it was less and more scary. It was less scary because we were thinking, okay, what are the chances that it's going to fall here in the middle of nowhere? I mean, it's a really small village, but we didn't have a proper shelter there.
Ah, you didn't?
Wow. We have like a mamad, like
mamad, okay.
A small shelter. But if you had a real impact, it was like, okay,
it's better to be underground always.
It was like.
But
we were like,
at least
we were like playing with how we were betting on the fact that it's not going to fall there. So the percentage of a missile falling there, it was like, oh, come on, it's not going to happen, because they're trying to reach the big cities, Tel Aviv, Beersheba.
And this is how we live, right? Like in situations like this, and now in our daily life, we don't even realize it anymore. Like educated guess, kind of like you're trying to, okay, this is safe enough. This is.
What are the percentage of me getting hit by a missile in a small village, but not in a good shelter?
Far enough from any possible target that would make sense.
Yeah. So what is the best option? Staying in the big city with a good shelter? Anyway, we moved there. And I went back two times to Tel Aviv. The first time was like in the middle of it, and it was so surreal because Tel Aviv was almost empty. Wow. Everyone with kids, everyone who could left the city. But still, you had like this crazy Israeli kind of state of mind of people going to the beach, sitting in coffee shops, like, fuck you. And I was in the car, like so stressed to get in the house, to take some stuff, some clothes, and to go back. And while driving to the city, I was seeing some people going to the sea, talking, but it was mostly empty, and it was so strange.
Wow. Yeah, it's like a mix of Corona, but with like, they can. Those are big ballistic missiles. It's not like they can kill you. And I guess they're making their educated guess also, like, what are the chances on the beach at this hour? Because we talked about that, right?
Morning, they're not shooting in the morning.
Exactly, like what are the chances? Chances?
Let's go to the beach.
Let's go to the beach, why not? Wow. Quite the but it already seems so far, like so much happens since.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like
time to process.
I didn't process anything. I just like
went back.
Yeah, you're trying to. The last 2 years is like trying to act normal, like let's try not to go crazy. I think but we are. After living so many years here in Israel, especially for us coming from France, understanding that there is a world without that, you get used to it at some point. And you understand that there is nothing else to do. just trying to live your life.
Yes, yes, because we have families also, and we have to act to be like everything is normal sometimes, because you cannot put that on your kids. You have to work. Sometimes I wonder how we manage to be functional at all some days with everything that's happening.
Yeah, you try to show face to your kids, like everything is okay, don't worry.
You cannot show them a complete despair that we find ourselves sometimes in. I'm also quite active, so I guess this is also something that I'm doing, and I wouldn't say that it's keeping me sane, because I guess I don't think it's keeping me sane. I think it's making me sometimes more insane. But when I went to France last month, and I went to a part of France where it's like they live in La La Land, in the bubble, and then I realized that even when you're in Tel Aviv and people seem like they forget about everything. No, it's a way of surviving what they're doing, living 300%, going to the beach even during a war with Iran, playing, drinking, going to parties. There is still a weight on the shoulders that you don't see. I didn't see or feel in this place, in this bubble in France, where they're really so far from this reality. So yeah, it's different. It's not.
And also, it makes you appreciate the small things. Like just the fact that you're having a coffee. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, we're still here.
Yeah, we have food. It's
so far so good. It's a very strange feeling, because also I think that people watching from abroad, from Europe, from France, from England, from the United States, talking about the war, talking about what's happening here, having their opinion of what's happening here, they can't really understand, not because they're not Jewish and all this bullshit. I mean, they can't really understand because they never felt that fear, that violence. They've never been in a war. They don't understand what is a war.
No, yeah.
And so they try to judge us, them, they try to analyze the whole situation without understanding what's a war, what it is to being shot at from years now. I mean, it didn't start with 7th of October. I mean, we had missiles, incoming missiles in Tel Aviv since 2012.
Yes, I remember that.
In the south, you remember the first time?
I was new.
It was so stressful. Everyone remembers the first time. It was my first time. I was so young. It was so stressful. We were running in the street like crazy. I remember the date. It was the 14th of July.
It was the 14th of July?
How do I remember? We were just after starting the project Israel Loves Iran, and we were kind of famous. And the ambassador of France invites us, me and Michal, for the 14th of July to the ceremony. So we put our best clothes. I shaved. We were ready. And we took a cab to Jaffa, to Yafo, where the French ambassador is living. Right. And the moment we went out of the cab, the siren started. So we ran to the door of the embassy, and the guard, the French policeman who was there, closed the door on us and said, "You can't enter." And we're like, "No, you can't enter." And so he threw us back to the street, and we ran. And Michal, she never wears high heels because she's not that kind of girl. But for that event, she was like, I'm going to show them.
Twice in her life, your wedding and this day.
Exactly. Even in the wedding, I'm not sure she was. And so she was running with the high heels. And then we get to a matnas, to a kind of a school. And we were with, so we were in Jaffa, so we were with Russian kids and Arab kids. And the Arab kids were shouting, Allahu Akbar, but because they were stressed, not because bring it. It was so surreal. The Russian kids were crying, shouting in Russian. It was our first time.
Mazal tov.
Thank you.
The first of many, but
so yeah, for
I have my first missile at an embassy event also last week actually, but now it was more like almost business as usual. In Jerusalem, I also had a crazy day, and I was invited in Jerusalem at the U.S. Embassy, by the U.S. Embassy, and we had a missile, and the diplomats had to run to the shelters, and the others, the Israelis, they were like,
whatever.
We're gonna wait here. Anyway, it's from Yemen. I mean, we had a minute because it was the same day that Israel hit Qatar.
Oh, okay.
So it was a crazy day anyway, a very special and long day. But it's from Yemen.
So yeah, when it's from Yemen, the Houthim, we're like, okay, maybe it's going to get intercepted. I mean, what are the chances that because they're shooting them one by one. I mean, it's one missile. Yes. It's relatively slow.
And if I'm alone, if I'm not with my kid, and it's 4 a.m. in the morning, for example, she's I don't know. Usually she's with me at this hour, but why to wake up everyone and why to go run in the shelter? It's just.
No, I'm going down to the shelter every time. I'm not playing games.
I had my first. I mean, it was the first day of the kindergarten. Going back to the kindergarten, they took them to the shelters, of course, because you just want to go back to normal and your kid to go back to the kindergarten. And I didn't go this time. It was the first time for me not going to the shelter. And also during the embassy
But to the point of living under this kind of constant feeling of getting hit by a missiles, at some point it's not that you're getting used to it, but your mind is trying to clear it, to make it
that's the only way.
Yeah, and you're becoming also. You're putting everything away. It's making you less empathic to others also, because it's happening so many. I mean,
at some point,
houses are exploding, and you can't be sad all the time. So at some point you're kind of, I don't know, apathic to it.
Apathic, yeah. That's what I felt sometimes with Iran also. During the war with Iran, I had moments of total apathy. But then it comes back also. It's a bit of a boomerang thing. Boomerang. It comes back sometimes, it hits you back again. No? I don't know. Maybe we deal with it differently.
I'm always stressed. But I'm always stressed, but I'm even overstressed. I'm even stressing. I mean, since the beginning of the war, I'm almost every night going to sleep with clothes on.
Yeah, that too. So it's not completely, I mean,
it's the little thing. I have a bag ready. I have my thing ready. So if it's happening in the middle of the night, I don't have to wake up and to look for my clothes. They're already on me, like a good soldier. Okay, I just have to put my shoes on.
And you just have to grab your gears.
And my wife, Michal, she's the total opposite. She's like, fuck that shit. I'm not even acknowledging it. I'm doing everything is normal.
So she's even more dissociating.
She's completely dissociated. She's and when it's happening, she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, I told you. But I don't know. I think she's processing it better than me, because she got to sleep not with clothes on.
No, I have the bag ready, and sometimes I look at, I read the news, and I'm thinking, okay, something may happen soon. So I'm like, okay, let's see what we have in the bag. Okay, this is, we need more food. We need more, maybe this I don't need anymore, like winter clothes or whatever. I'm always ready for the, maybe we should order a walkie-talkie in case things really go south. All kind of crazy scenarios in my head, but also I keep my cool most of the time.
My son, he have friends from his class, two siblings, two brothers, and they were living on Pinsker Street. And so that night, when it hits Tel Aviv, it hits their building. And they're like a bit clumsy guys, like not, and so they run to the shelters, but like not even with the shoes on. So they went down to a shelter on the street, but like, a t-shirt and shorts.
Shoes on is important.
Not shoes, not nothing. They didn't take nothing. They didn't even close the house. They didn't have the keys. They have nothing. They went to the shelter, and 5 minutes later, they had nothing. The whole house, everything went out. They went out of the shelter, and their house get a direct hit. So it's this house on Pinsker Street.
Wow.
And so on one side, it's like, okay, you get to live.
Yeah, you're alive.
You get to be alive. And on the other side, you got nothing left.
And it's pretty traumatizing to have your home.
It's crazy, yeah, especially for children.
And talking about apathy, by the way, I want to add something. I thought that maybe having this on this scale will maybe, this is what basically people in Gaza are experiencing for the last 2 years also. So we can say that it's because of Hamas. It's also because of Hamas, for sure. But I want just to point that out. We have...
No, I wanted to talk about Gaza
in a different.
After I wanted to start with Iran, but obviously we can pivot to that. Obviously, the trauma of losing everything is so hard, especially on kids. And obviously, I wanted to ask you. One of the question that I wrote is, do you see any chance of, I don't want to say even to say peace, but maybe reconciliation or anything close to that between the Palestinian in the Gaza Strip and the Israeli after 2 years of, the Gaza Strip is almost completely destroyed. We're talking about few houses in Tel Aviv. More than few houses, few neighborhoods in all over Israel. But the whole Gaza Strip look like what Pinker Street looks now. It's
exactly.
like complete destruction.
So, since last time that we talked about that, I don't see more signs of good evolution. But at the same, I'm just hoping sometimes. Maybe they know what they're doing. In a way, the government with the United States.
Whose government?
Maybe
our government?
The Israeli government. Maybe they're bluffing. Maybe this is the best way to get to something. I'm trying to reassure myself. It's hard to believe, but it's the Middle East, and the rules are what they are, and the people are a bit more. The heat is the heat hits more. But look at what we're doing now in Gaza. I don't see how this is bringing us any closer to not releasing our hostages, not ending the war. This is one more trauma also for the people of Gaza if they hadn't experienced enough already. And there is such a thing when you study conflict and conflict resolutions about getting to such a scale of conflict and destruction that they call it ripeness, like you're ready basically to talk, to really honestly talk and end the conflict. So maybe we're there, where people are so desperate and tired, exhausted from this situation that, Gazans people now, I don't think anyone there except Hamas wants to continue this to fight.
I'm not sure. I mean, they're not stopping.
But it's Hamas. It's really not the population that is constantly being...
yeah, but as long as Hamas is still like in control, Netanyahu is not gonna
back down.
No, it's not gonna sign anything. He can't, like, because of internal politics and because of the. I mean, he has to prove himself, like.
It's not all for nothing. It was not all for nothing.
Yeah, he has to go all the way to the
and political survival.
Yeah, it's his own political survival. He can't finish the war with Hamas still in control of the Gaza Strip. For him, it will be like losing the next election and face and everything, and Hamas are in the same position. I mean, they can't end the war with them leaving the Gaza Strip. It will be for them like.
Yeah, but what's left of the Gaza Strip? I mean,
so it's like
nice to
it's
rain
like
on the
two
ruins,
crazy like fighters like killing each other until the end, and people are in the middle, especially the people of the Gaza Strip, and I don't see. I mean, you know. Few years ago, I mean, at least before the war and years before that, when you were asking people in the West Bank, in the Gaza Strip, would you live close to would you be okay to live with Israeli to make peace? Most of them were saying no. But when you were asking the same question in Israel, most of Israeli were saying, yeah, maybe. And now when you're asking that same question in Israel, most of Israelis say no either. They say no, we don't want to live.
The trust, I mean, after October 7, the trust, like the idea that you can live with people and that someday they can turn on you, and because some people, like in the kibbutz, of course, they live.
So it's not only Hamas and Netanyahu. It's also the people of Israel and the people of the Gaza Strip and the West Bank that don't feel that the other side can't be trusted.
Yeah, I mean, and we've been working. The government, this war, the Hamas have been working in a very efficient way with a lot of propaganda together with the horrors, the destructions and everything, to build this idea that it's not possible. This is either us or them or us, and there is no other way. And but I think that it always depends on, like, every time that there were more terror attacks or expansions in the West Bank. So of course, the feeling of people to live together was going down. The idea that it was possible. Now it's the wars we ever had, right, between Israelis and Palestinians. I don't know if it's possible to build from that. I want to hope that it's possible. I'm going to those protests still against the war.
But it's
among
like
many others, and I talk to friends, and they're like, I'm not going anymore because it makes me so desperate that we've been protesting for more than 3 years now, even before October 7. And everything is getting worse every time.
Every time. It's like
and
protesting,
like, yes,
not
exactly.
doing anything.
And this is a feeling. It's even because it's exhausting to go to protest. I used to like, but now the reasons are so bad and everything is so terrible stories all the time. You're broken in two every time you come back home. And all of this for what? And it's depressing to see that you're going. I never want to go, if you ask me, to a protest in my life. And I'm thinking that way. And then I found myself in the next days going to at least 3 protests, like in a couple of days following that thinking. So the hope is something that is really moving when you're trying to be. It's some days it's down, some days it's so. That's for me. That's how it works for me. For some people I know in Israel, on the Israeli side.
this week they're talking about in Europe, France, England, Spain, many other countries, about unilaterally recognizing the
State of Palestine.
her state of Palestine. How do you analyze that? What do you think about it?
Honestly, I'm not sure yet. I started an article I didn't finish from a Palestinian activist, politician, and one of the things he said in the article, he wrote in the article, was that it's nice and all, but the only real states that we need to convince to recognize Palestine is Israel. So, even without finishing the article, it's a lot of food for thought. It's his opinion as a Palestinian activist, politician, or former politician, I don't remember, that I've been following a bit of his work. He's also conducting with an organization polls to see the opinions of Palestinians changing toward living together or separately or whatever in the West Bank and Jerusalem. So, yeah, I don't know if it will bring... I still think that they deserve a state completely, and why not? But the way it's done is maybe not what will help not the Palestinians.
And to me, I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, I'm all for a Palestinian country. I was sure there was already kind of a partition, so I mean, but okay, I mean, but I have so many questions when I hear that let's say France is going to recognize. I mean, let's talk about
they have conditions. They put conditions like
the frontiers.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
the map. Okay, when you're recognizing, I mean, France, when Macron says I'm going to recognize the Palestinian country, where? What's the capital? Where are the? I mean, did they think about it, or they're just like it's like statements?
Honestly, I didn't read extensively. I just read a bit of what Macron has planned for that. If I remember correctly, the capital was Jerusalem, and then it should be a shared capital, so it's like not really new. But it was also like dismantling Hamas, conducting elections. In the meantime, maybe like they have a few things that they have to discuss. And about the borders, really, I'm not sure how to manage it now, because even if I say, okay, maybe I still believe in the two-state solution, yeah, the question of the borders will be like a clusterfuck to...
I'm all for it, but it's like they didn't... Again, it's because they're talking from Paris, Brussels, London. They don't understand the reality on the ground. They never felt the violence. They never been here, and they don't understand. So I'm like, free Palestine, yeah, we're recognizing Palestine. Yeah, where is it? I mean, what are the big cities? Okay, the capital is Jerusalem. By the way, did you know it's also the capital of Israel? So how you going to manage that? Are you, France, going to manage this? And if it's not working, are you going to send your soldiers to make it happen?
It's one of the questions on the table, to send like a third party to manage, at least in Gaza.
What third party? Who want to be part of it?
So of course there is the United States that is.
They will never.
That would, but like everything that has
the state will
done
never.
Before, like Peace Corps, like how do you call it, like the
UN,
UN forces
the blue,
that were in Lebanon, les casques bleus.
They're doing nothing.
It's not efficient. It's mostly waste of money, and this is what they're doing now. They're stopping soon.
But we saw them in South Lebanon.
Yes.
I mean, like almost working hand to hand with the Hezbollah,
or at least witnessing and not doing anything about it, and so yeah,
and become complicit to whatever they were doing, but not actually making anything happening on the ground. So okay, you're recognizing unilaterally a country. I'm all for it, but
it's also about like after that, if really Palestine is recognized as a country by all those countries, all these international on the international level, really. So I guess it changes also the humanitarian, the international law regarding. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not a lawyer in international law for sure, but it does bring changes on this scale, establishing a government.
But they already have. They already have a government. They already.
It means that maybe if we're fighting Hamas in this case. It's complicated because they don't want Hamas. They want to dismantle Hamas in this recognition. Hamas yet is really happy about this recognition and said that this is what they worked for. So, everything that makes Hamas happy is, of course, I mean, for me, I question it. But maybe it will also make Hamas, from what I remember, from a third party that is not only a terrorist organization, but really a government. And in this case, I don't know. I don't know what the consequences of it will be, and if there will be any, or if it will be just like one other thing that we do, and it's like paper, like.
Yeah, for me, it's just like another statement, but nothing on the ground. Yeah, but it's empty because they don't have any way of making it happen on the ground. So, I mean, let's say you're recognizing a Palestinian country that is the border are the West Bank and let's say the Gaza Strip. And somehow you're connecting between the two of them. I don't know how, but I don't know. You're building a bridge, let's say. Whatever.
They have a lot of tunnels. They can maybe
Who's building the bridge? Who's making the tunnel? Who's making government happening on the ground after you have recognized that country? If this country falling in the hand of Hamas tomorrow and Hamas declare again war to Israel, are you going to back up this country, this new country? I mean,
I guess it can still make a difference maybe in the West Bank because we're planning Israel now with the government. The current government in Israel is planning a more annexation. Wow.
Annexation, yeah.
Yeah, of the West Bank, and in this case, it's really like a frontal attack against sovereign states. And in this case, the mechanism using international law to defend these states are different also, and people can intervene differently. Countries can intervene differently to defend that part of the Palestinian states. But I'm not 100% sure. I should have done my homework more carefully about that.
Again, I'm all for it, but who's gonna take the settlers out of this new country? What's gonna happen to them? Are they gonna de facto be part of this new country? Is it okay for them to live there? Like we have many Palestinians, Arabs living in Israel. Is it okay for Israeli Jewish people to live in this new country of Palestine, or is it only a Palestinian for Palestinian country? I mean, did they actually sit and plan everything? I think
They
no.
want to feel like they're doing something. It's symbolic.
And I think they're just talking, and it's gonna explode back in their fucking face. And again, I'm all for it. But I mean, it's counterproductive at that point. It's like they're not helping. I mean, the Palestinian. Obviously, they're not helping Israel. No, I understand why.
They're not helping the Palestinians. That's the thing.
But they're trying to do something good, and they're not playing.
Basically, a lot of people everywhere in the world, all this history since 1940s, since the 1940s, have claimed or have been willing to help Palestinians, and it's never the right help, and it's often backfired at everyone, but also always at the Palestinian people. Leave, will get everything back, and then they find themselves refugees for generations somewhere else in a different country sometimes. Intifada will help. No, it didn't. They have terrible advisors, and I read in a book basically they find themselves accepting deals afterwards that are worse than what they had previously offered, always again and again and again and again, no, we'll fight and we'll get more, and then they get less, and they have to accept less, and it's a constant. And all the people, especially also, I mean, in the Arab world, but also in Europe now, that want to help Palestinians, they don't understand really the reality. They're making big mistakes. They're not always helping Palestinians. It's often counterproductive. It's very sad to say that, but it's nice to show that you're supporting.
Yeah, but it's like so many people want to help, but no, I mean, I'm always feeling that most of the help that they got from Israeli organization. As sad as it sounds, I mean a peace organization that they're actually doing stuff on the ground, coming, helping. I mean, who else? Who else is helping the kids of the West Bank? If not, I mean.
Yeah, most of the help that is actually maybe efficient, not always, because all the peace activists like me didn't, again, bring a better change, but small grassroots organizations.
But at least we're trying.
I've tried, and sometimes brought, like, if you focus on the road to recovery or things like this, people that are helping, that are... Even if the rest of the world doesn't want to see it, yes, there are a lot of... because they don't want to see the Israelis in this way of... they're human, they care. The one that are supporting, helping in villages, in Palestinian villages in the West Bank against home demolitions over there. A lot of them are Israelis, of course. It's
obviously. I mean, who else? And that's why I think that this whole movement coming from Europe, the States, Canada, like, of being so anti-Zionist, anti-Israel, I mean, basically putting all the Israeli in the same bag and say, all of you are horrible people. No matter what you've done, no matter what happened, you an Israeli, so you're obviously a Zionist, and obviously you're a bad guy, no matter what.
Unless you're the token that will be used, the one in a million.
Yeah. Unless you're spitting on your own flag.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Less than that, you're a Zionist. That's the new word, Zionist. It's like so stupid. But anyway, so putting all Israelis... The pro-peace, the pro-two-state solution, the one that are actually helping, putting everyone in the same bag, it's so counterproductive, because at some point you making them the enemy, and after you've been called so many times. I mean, even us. I want to read you something. Let me put let me please, darling, put my glasses and read you something that so 2 days ago, before the taping today, I post on the page, on the PeaceFactory page, on the Israel Loves Iran page, on the Peace page. It's a page dedicated to peace.
Since forever, since its creation.
Like 10 years ago at least, trying to get people connected. And I make a call. Hi guys, we're going to tape. If you want to ask a few questions, if you have relevant stuff to say, please put it here and we'll address it on the taping. So this is the answer. Okay. I won't give you the name of the people who say that, because he doesn't deserve it, but I'm reading what he says. Why don't you interview the people of Gaza, the people of the West Bank that Israeli is throwing out of their ancient home as part of the ethnic cleansing of Palestine? How can you wonder about peace while massacring, killing thousands of Palestinians? Is peace not for them? Wouldn't your time be better spent overthrowing your war criminal government? That's one question. The other one, the other question or the other comment. Brian, After the genocide, ethnic cleansing, and mass murder by starvation, it is hard to see Israel really ever being accepted again by the rest of the world as a real state. Certainly, the idea of Israel as a moral state is gone forever. Do Israelis care about that? Is there any guilt or self-reflection happening in Israel about you guys becoming the Nazis now in the world eyes? How do Israelis feel? I mean, that are the kind of question that these guys asking peace people. I mean,
sounds
it's
like
not
venting more than.
Yeah, but again,
they
I mean,
put a question mark at the
you're
end.
coming to a page dedicated to building bridges, to trying to get. I mean, you have so many places when you can vent. You can go to Netanyahu's page, the governance page. I mean, so many people you can even.
I'll tell you what, I think some of the things they say are maybe legit, though it's presented like, what is your point exactly? Because we are actually, like, you cannot say that to people that are working for something or against something, why are you not doing anything against something?
But
or for
this
something?
guy is saying that actually the fact that you're an Israeli and you're not actually going right now, throwing out Netanyahu out of his house, you're part of the problem. You're a Nazi. Is like
I'd like to
saying
know where you're coming from, Brian.
And you're part of ethnic cleansing, genocide. I mean,
and also something that really bothers me in this is that they always, like many countries have been, first of all, I'm against everything that's happening right now in Gaza. That's my personal take. I think it's horrible. I think it shouldn't happen. I don't know. I mean, it's really not right. And I do, maybe not enough, but I do what I'm trying to do what I can about it. But I'm not trying here to justify myself. What I'm trying to say is that many countries have done terrible things always and ever in the past. With Israel, it's always like questioning the right of the country to exist.
Exactly.
This is something that never happened anywhere. Germany didn't, is still Germany. If you want to compare all the time with the Holocaust, because this is also something that is bothering me, always comparing to the Shoah,
you're the Nazi.
And calling us Nazis and
genocide and using that specific word.
They don't realize that the credit they have no credit in this for many reasons, but one of them is I've been hearing about this for more than 10 years. It's a genocide. And so, of course, we have to, like, there is a definition in international law, and if Israel has to be tried for this, so may it be, and we'll see. But the question of it's a fake state, it was invented, like, do you think God, you live in England, do you really think that God put the Great Britain or England or whatever it is, or the United Kingdom now on the map someday, and that's it? But all the countries are fake. It's
I mean, but also the fun fact, the fun part of that is that at the same times that Israel was created, around the same years,
many other countries,
so many countries around us were also created.
And it was
Lebanon,
a colonialist project.
Lebanon, Syria, yes. Jordan, Iraq, Pakistan. India was not created, but was freed, declared is independent. So many countries in the Middle East. I mean, almost all the Middle East. Iran and Egypt were there way before. These are the two ones who weren't created by colonialism, even either French or British colonialism.
And many countries in Africa.
The only country that every time something happens and you that is not legitimate is Israel. You're not legitimate. You're not a legitimate country. You shouldn't existed. Why? Why is that? Why?
Exactly. And this is new. And and the question that you said people asked, can you live with Israelis? Can you live with Palestinians? It was it was a question. Now it's not a question. People are actively demanding a ceasefire and at the same time asking us to be like erased, expelled from the map. So they're basically right now what I see is that everything in the opposite can be said by the same people. It depends who you're talking about. Like ethnic cleansing is not good. It's not. Unless you expel the Jews, send them back to Europe where we hate them. And
which is funny because when we were in Europe, they sent us back to here.
Yes.
I mean, we were in Poland. I mean, not me personally.
Not you and not even.
But I mean, in the history, we were thrown out from Europe, from France. I mean, the Holocaust were trying to finish the Jewish of Europe. So you actually sent us here, and now you are sending us back where?
And everywhere, because it's the same at the end in support for the so-called support for Palestinians, again, from Arab countries or Muslim countries. They ask, not nicely, their Jews to leave, or the Jewish population in the Middle East and North Africa, they had to leave also. And it was what? It was not anti-Semitism, it was anti-Zionism, and those people, they came where could they go? Most of them, they came to Israel. So it's like everything is counterproductive, nothing makes sense. What can I say? That's my...
that's why it's so hard to... And I mean, I've tried for the last 2 years to make the page, the PeaceFactory page, and the project. I mean, I try to revive it, but it's so hard because no one is ready to talk about peace. I mean, to really acknowledge.
It's not a thing anymore.
No one is really ready to acknowledge the other side and to sit and to talk. It's like most of the time the comments are like the one I just wrote you.
And
it's like
anything good, by the way?
You're a Zionist. You're part of a genocide. Whatever. You should be ashamed of yourself. Leave. And basically that makes you and the worst of the worst of the Israeli settlers, let's say, that makes you one. That makes you exactly the same. And at some point, you're like, okay, so you don't want to talk to me, you don't want to talk to him. We're all these Nazis.
And again, it's counterproductive because it's pushing me back to
exactly.
So I'm gonna do something, and you hate me so much because of what I represent. Because what you see me as an Israeli, and that's it. And it's a self-explanatory thing. So why would I even try to talk to you? Why would I? It's pushing people in more communitarism.
Exactly. That plays exactly in the hand of the government and in the end of Hamas, who wants us to be on two opposite. I mean, the big fear of Netanyahu and the big fear of Hamas is that we find a way. We find a place when we can make peace, a common ground. That's their fear. They're very good when we're fighting each other. That's the best. And it's very depressing.
It is.
Especially in time of war, that you can't even find some people. I mean, you're fucking living in this Brian. I don't know. I mean, you're living out there in, I don't know, Stockholm. I mean, be productive. Do something. Ask an Israeli and a Palestinian to come to your house. Sit them both. Have a discussion. No, genocide. How do you helping? What are you achieving?
Venting.
Yesterday I saw a reportage.
Documentary?
A documentary. My English is so good. It's so hard. Let's switch to French.
Guys, okay?
Bon, allez, on arrête les conneries, on parle en français. Yesterday I saw a documentary, and it was this guy. He was working for the Guardian, I guess, the British Guardian. Yeah. Such a fine documentary. And he was wandering the streets of Tel Aviv, filming people, and his whole act was like, look at them. they're on the beach, they're having coffee, they're living their best life while people are dying in Gaza. It was like, that was the whole...
So a journalist from such a big newspaper is taking the TikTok angle on this.
And it was like putting a microphone in a there and asking people like stupid questions and obviously getting stupid answers. But his whole point was like, look at you. Have you no shame sitting in a coffee shop while people are dying? And I was wondering, I mean, first of all, just a few weeks ago, we were the one running. I mean, I'm not comparing, but we do run to shelters many times for many years. And what do you expect us to do? I mean, are you not having coffee in France, in London, in Sweden? Are you crying all day long? Are you not going to take your kid from school? Are you not going on vacation, Mr. The Guardian?
Are you fighting for the rights of the immigrants in your country?
And the hypocrisy of doing it, I mean, in Tel Aviv. I mean, this guy, he comes to Tel Aviv, so I guess he will stay few days in an hotel in Tel Aviv, sitting in a coffee shop, having a nice coffee, even eating on the waitress, who I guess is an Israeli. And I mean, it's so counterproductive and it's so hypocrite. I don't know how you say hypocrite in English.
Something like that. But it's also like, and if you go to Arab towns and Palestinian towns in the West Bank, you will also see people having coffee.
Yeah, but they're crying inside, not like us, like rejoicing. It makes me sad.
There was this French influencer also that came to Israel, and she said she had a boyfriend here, Arab, of course, Palestinian. The poor guy didn't ask for anything. I don't know what's going on with him now. He didn't ask for it for sure. She exposed him like this, and then she was like, you can feel it. They're committing like this, that. Look, you can feel that it's something wrong because she shows us a shop where you see a T-shirt, fuck Hamas. Oh yeah, ooh, bad people. Anyway, because she was French and she was caught by some other influencer that really signaled her to. So I think she was expelled and her account was closed for like many weeks. But ooh, boo, bad people. They say fuck Hamas. It's everywhere. You cannot escape it. And they're having coffee. Okay, I'm also gonna have coffee now. This is what she's saying, really, like in the video. Like
she was in France. I mean,
she was in Israel at the time. I'm also going coffee.
And she saw.
But I feel bad about it. You know, like yeah, okay, you're doing something. You want like
a good girl.
Yeah, so they're all doing the same thing, and this is also what in this comment, every comment I read. People are saying the exact same thing. This comment, the next comment, I'm sure all of them, maybe there is something good, something genuine.
No, nothing was good there.
But many people, they're using exactly the same argument again and again and again. And they're making these jokes when you read the comments. Because that was promised to them 3,000 years ago.
It was promised to you like 2,000 years ago. Oh.
Are you not getting tired of your own seeing the same? And if someone has 5,000 comments, you can be sure that 1,000 of these comments will be, it was promised to them like, yeah, okay. I don't know if this should be in a podcast, but it's also good for us to vent sometimes, maybe.
No, but I mean, it's so hard. I mean, we actually, I mean, so many people are not on the fence anymore. They're like, we don't want anything to do with them. After 7th of October, many Israelis switch to the side that is like, no two-state solution, no nothing. We're not done with Mr. Nice Guy, basically. Yeah. Lot of Israeli went that way, and you can understand why. And so many few are still believing in maybe somehow a way of a peace process, a peace something, a way of living together. Because let's face it, they're not going anywhere. I mean, we're not going anywhere, but they're not going anywhere.
They shouldn't have to.
So we're gonna have to live together, a way. I mean, somehow. So let's try to envision it, but we are so few to even think that way, and even us become, in the eyes of Mr. Righteousness living over there, even us are like the genocidal Israeli. I had a friend, an Iranian girl, which I met once in Dallas, and
from the page, but that's
from the page, and we were talking for many years. We talked. She's an Iranian living in a diaspora in the United States, and we were like kind of pal, you know, on Facebook. And since the war started, she's calling me the worst of the worst. Like I'm an hypocrite. I'm always have been on the side of the war, but I wasn't showing my real face. But now that the war has started, I'm not denouncing the genocide. So I talked to her one day on WhatsApp, and I say, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you over Facebook because I'm not doing that anymore. But if you want, I can have a Zoom call with you, and we can talk about it, and I can explain you how is it to live in the Middle East, because let's face it, you never lived here. You were born in Iran, your parents live, and you were raised in the United States.
They left for a reason, of course.
And it's okay, but let me give you my argument. And she say, I'm okay talking with you only if you acknowledge first the genocide. So it's either you're actually saying what's Israel doing, it's a genocide, and you're against a genocide, or we're not talking. So I told her, genocide, it's a specific word mentioning a specific thing. This war is horrible, and I'm against it, and I would be happy if it ends tomorrow. In my point of view, it's not a genocide. It's horrible. It's crazy. We can talk about it, and I'm all for it ending, but it's not a genocide. And she was like, okay, so I see your real face now. You're a Zionist. You're a filthy, whatever, Israeli, and I'm not talking to you anymore. And that's it, and that's the end of it.
Well, that's not more peaceful, but I mean, the concept of genocide, this is really something complex that maybe deserves another episode. I had yesterday a conversation with a professor, Israeli professor that lives abroad now, and say that it is. Some people say it is, it's not. I'm questioning my definition, because for me, not only the genocide that happened to Jews and to my family, but other genocides are like in Rwanda or against the Armenian people. It's like killing a lot of people, erasing them almost in a very short time. And we don't, and then we see what's happening in Gaza, and we're like, okay, what we're doing is bad. I mean, you and me, but we're not there yet.
But it's also having the intent of erasing them. It's also about intent.
Now, we cannot deny that some member of our governments, this is what they're claiming.
Yes.
It's important also.
Obviously, Ben Gvir and Smotrich and most of people in the Likud are genocidal in their talking.
I think ethnic cleansing were there when we...
But they're not actually the one doing the thing. And the army, as you know, in Israel, is something really different of what Smotrich and Ben Gvir are talking about. And it's not by mistake that these two weren't in the army.
Not accepted.
One of them wasn't accepted in the army. It was like too bad for the army. The army said, we're not having you. And the other one was like in prison for like terror conspiracy. I don't remember exactly what.
Yeah,
but
he was arrested by the
he was arrested by the Shin Bet. And so those two guys, they're not representing anything. They're just part of a political game that Netanyahu is playing.
They are representing, because they're sitting in our government and they're making decisions. And basically what's happening in Gaza now, it's, for me, how I see it, it's like ensuring Netanyahu's political survival, and his political survival depends on them staying in this coalition, and so to please them is doing this also. This is how I see it.
Yeah, obviously,
So
but he
they're not
never
nothing
says.
anymore.
But he never says, and the army would never agree to go and erase the Palestinians.
No, it's true.
There is a war. There is some matarot, some.
And they're currently against the chief of the army. The new chief of the army is even against what's happening now in the army. The problem is what
so
is he doing about it.
there is a war plan. There is some. How you say matarot?
Goals,
There are the objectives to that war, and the objective is not erasing the Palestinian. There is not a Palestinian issue that we need to erase like the German did in the Second World War. It's not the same, and it's not a genocide. It's an horrible war, but nothing. But it's and so, and the moment you say, also, I mean, there is something so hypocritical about European people calling us Israeli genocidal, because it plays to that issue of the Holocaust.
Of course.
So we did you a genocide, but it's okay because now you are doing a genocide. So it's kind of.
And sometimes it doesn't make sense at all. It's like, no.
You deserved it.
You deserved it. It never happened, and you're doing worse. All in the same sentence.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's kind of, it's okay.
Yeah.
And no, it's not okay. The one you did on us, it wasn't okay. We're not doing one. It's horrible what's happening, and you're not helping.
And you're not helping. That's I
Please
think,
help.
But
Help.
But to help, in order to help, listen to what people have to say. They really don't want to see the Israelis, not even the Palestinians, who are not that extreme, who are against Hamas. They don't give a voice to those Palestinians. There are many Palestinians that are against Hamas, and they are not welcome to talk. They're not heard. They don't give them the platform. It's a real thing, because I know many of them. I don't know what part of the population they represent, what percentage, but there are many of them, and they're not being heard. No one wants to hear that. People want to say with their narrative again, because in the name of decolonialism, you have to do it that way, the way we want you to decolonize yourself, not the way you, who are Palestinian, opposing Hamas, trying to survive, being against the current Israeli government and everything that's happening. Still, we don't give you the right to talk, because what you're saying is not what we want to hear, and that is very, very damaging. Very, very damaging for Palestinians.
One last question that I have wrote, but...
So nothing good in the comments, nothing Hakuna Matata or... It's... Sorry, go back to your question.
No, it's not. It's very saddening, because I'm always trying to look on the bright side, and it's an actual work. I mean, not falling into the side of cynism and everyone is bad and okay, they hate us. It's anti-Semitism, and it's very easy to fall in that narrative. And I'm actually, actively trying to find a way to be positive, even in these dark times. That actually we're living it. It's not like we're in France and we're talking about it. We're living it. The missiles are actually falling on us. We're sending our friends and kids and family to the army. It's happening to us. And it's hard to find allies in that time. And especially when, again, if someone hearing this podcast and want to leave a comment and have a good idea, something positive to say, put it in the comment on the page, and we'll address it, obviously, next time we meet. I hope it's not going to be in 2 months like that. Not tomorrow. Wow.
Sometimes you're like, yeah, we've been in this situation before, and it's one of those times.
But yes, it's a bit demoralizing sometimes.
And those people who want to be Palestinian allies, I guess many of them, they want to be. Some of them are clearly just anti-Semite, but some of them want to be allies of the Palestinians. But they leave us, Jews and Israelis, with allies that we don't want. Because I don't want fascist allies on one side or another. I have different ideas. I don't want to be left alone with those people that are the last one defending us for now.
But that's what we have left. We have the extreme right in France.
Dangerous.
We have Hungary, Poland, the Trump. That's our friends now.
Those are our friends now. And about Trump, I'm clearly against every of his ideas. But at some point I was like, you know what? If he's the only one who can, stop these things because it's in his power and because he's the only one that maybe Benjamin Netanyahu will be listening to. And if all he wants is his Nobel Prize, and if he can stop this and that, do it. Bring our hostages home. Make us have a peace deal with Syria. Just make sure that the Druze are in this peace deal, that we must ensure their safety. Do it. I give you all the prizes you want. Just do it.
But he's not doing anything. He's just reacting to things happening.
The amount of times that he said, if they don't free the hostages now, hell will come upon
but nothing's
them.
Happening.
I think it's at least 10 times. So now it's starting to be a bit...
It's a joke. He's not... even with Iran, he didn't do anything only after Israel were already
taking credit. He's good at taking credit for it.
So my last question was about French Jew. Actually, it's a spin-off question. It's not for everyone. How do you analyze the sentiment that the French Jewish population is having now? For those who don't know what I'm talking about, most of the Jewish since the 7th of October, the pressure put on Jews in Europe is immense. Yes. And many Jews, especially in France, are thinking of leaving. And many are actually, it's crazy, but in these last 2 years, we have a huge wave of immigration from Jews, from France, from Belgium, Holland,
United States,
England.
And the other way around, Israelis that are leaving.
You name it.
So I will start with this. Last week, there was a terror attack in Jerusalem, and 6 people were killed and many injured in hard, difficult conditions. And 2 of the 6 people who were killed in this terror attack were Olim Chadashim, new immigrants. I don't know if they were here after 10 years or less. So I think one was from Spain and immigrated to Israel a couple of years ago, or maybe less. Anyway, I read a comment. It's not safer. You see, stay in your house, stay in your country. It's not safer in Israel. And this is a question that we ask ourselves sometimes also. Where is the limit? Where is it safer? Where is it safer for our children? We do have we do have 2 passports, so we have this privilege. But where do I want to live between here, where everyone is crazy and everything that's happening, but at least I don't have to hide that I'm Jewish and Israeli. When I'm in France, and especially if I'm with my daughter, I will be more careful. If I'm alone, I don't care. I take the risk to meet whoever and whatever ideas they have. But it's a real question, because in France now, from what I hear from friends sometimes, it's not promising, and you have people who have to remove their names from their mailbox.
I have a family relative that told me that her kid is Jew. She's Jew. He's Jew. He's not going to a Jewish school. He's going to a
public school.
Public school.
Yeah.
He is not telling anyone that he's a Jew. it doesn't go with the
Magen.
with the Magen David, anything. And when people ask him what is surname coming from, he's saying that is from Turkey, Morocco.
To confuse them and
To confuse them. He's taking it's a Moroccan name because he has Moroccan origin. Yeah, I mean the whole family is from originally Jewish from Morocco. And she told me that most of the Jewish kids nowadays are not going to public school.
Exactly.
They're going to Jewish school because they're segregated. No one and if you
and there is the harassment on social media between in the school itself, and so at the end you have people that again pushing us to become more extreme in a way, because when you're a kid and you have to face this also, it's difficult. And at the end of the day, even if you want to put your kids in public school, like I was in public school in France, we were all together, all religions, scholars, whatever.
C'était bien.
C'était bien. The good old days. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. It was so obvious, normal, you know. And now they have to put their kids in Jewish schools.
To take the Jewish name out of the mailbox, to take the
when they order a taxi, they change their names. They took the mezuzah inside.
The mezuzah inside, like in the 30s in Germany.
And when you're a kid and you grow up like this, and you're like, okay, basically what you have to understand is like, you're not safe with others. You're safe only with other Jews, and this is what Israel is basically. And this is the idea of. It wasn't safe outside, so we need our own country. I don't know if we keep the promise that we made to everyone that it will be safe, because it's not. But at least you can be a Jew, religious or not, so far. And you don't have to hide that. And this is this is how it is now in France, at least. And my sister works extensively on this topic. So
in France.
Also a lot in the United States, so the feeling of Jews in the United States and in Canada. So yeah, it's and if you're, I don't know. I was born a leftist, let's say, after generations of, and many
you
Jews
have,
now, many
very interesting parents.
But many leftist Jews in France now, they felt so abandoned since October 7, because they still believe in those ideas, but also like everywhere they go, their friends, their political parties have betrayed them, and using anti-Semitic rhetoric or covering for it or not defending them, and it's complicated. And every time they say something about what they're facing, it's, oh, you're always overreacting, and it's not as bad as what's happening in Gaza. Yes, but I'm a Jew in France. I'm a French Jew in France. Yeah. So you should be concerned about what's happening to your own population as well. You know, it's without denying what's happening in Gaza and how bad it is and how much we should do about it. Attacking the Jews that still live in your country that are French citizens will not help anyone in Gaza. Yes, that's basically.
I have many friends, Jew families, people that I know, obviously in France, that are telling me that in the next election, for the first time, they're gonna vote for the right, for the extreme right.
God forbid! Oh my God.
Yes, because they can't vote for anyone in the left, because the left is like. I mean,
we always have to say not in my name, and at some point, why I'm nothing that is done here, sorry, is done in my name, so I'm not saying this. No, it's not anti-Zionism, it's anti-Zionism, yes, but at the end, if you always question the Jews on their identity and what they think politically, it's connected. It's just like asking Muslims always to condemn every action that is made in the name of Islam. Whatever it is, I mean, no one should be questioned for this. I mean, otherwise, Christians, Westerners, you go first.
You must murder.
You have to respond to everything that has been done over the last centuries, and you don't want that.
Any last words for today? Something uplifting, positive.
We're still here.
Something good that happens.
Some people say the heart is still beating. So it's positive. Something good that had happened. I still have friends all over the Middle East, Palestinians as well, Palestinians from Gaza as well. And when we sometimes ask what is our work as peace activists, what has it done? Did it bring us something? We say a lot of worries because now we're all worried about each other and we could ignore each other completely, but no. So a lot of worries because we know people from Yemen and Syria and Palestine and Israel and Iran. We still love you.
We will never bomb your country.
I think it's a good ending to say,
you know that
we
poster,
still love you, okay?
That poster originally had another part.
Iranians.
Yeah, Iranians, we love you, we will never bomb your country.
And you cut it because that's it.
No, it didn't.
We bombed the country now. So.
But you bomb us, we bomb you, we're already bombed.
But we still love you.
But we still love you.
And I think it's a good end.
I wish we met. That would be nice in our lifetime to have a vacation in Tehran. And I mean, why not? It's always the same question at the end. Why not? Why? What they want?
Because we have a few people in power who, I don't know, benefit from this and from us not meeting. Some of them are crazy and some of them are opportunists. And some of them are both.
Okay,
but we still love you.
Yes. We're stopping the ranting. If you have any question or any remark for the next episode,
support also is good.
Post it on the page, and we will address
polite, respectful disagreement with everything that has been said by Ronny or by me. Yours truly, Chloe.
See you next time. Bye bye. Shalom Aleichem.